Alrighty, friends. Welcome back to some more hot takes. Today we're going to be focusing on Fortnite OG, game mode that released about a month ago. Everything's OG. The double pump's back, the old map's back, everything's back and better than I don't know. We'll see what people think. Star World says that Fortnite OG is just bad in its current state. There's not a lot of shields, there's some broken weapons, and before ranked it was really sweaty, and bots did not need to be added into the game. And well, I kind of have to agree, at least with the part about bots. I think having bots in an OG game mode where bots weren't in the original game mode that the mode is based off is really stupid. Actually, I think Fortnite's whole idea of how to do a sort of skill-based matchmaking system with bots is dumb. There shouldn't be any bots in Fortnite at all. And yeah, without the bots, it was pretty damn sweaty. I think people often forget how hard original Fortnite Battle Royale actually was. There's a reason why on social media everybody would share when they get a win, because it was very rare and it was not easy to do. Part about no shields, I have to agree, but that's kind of how the game was. So I can't really, fault it for that. Guy says that Fortnite OG is too OG, and I actually kind of disagree. I think it's actually perfect the way it is now. Obviously, if you don't take into account all the bots and all the faults that was present in the original Season 1 in the first place, I think it's pretty good. Cosmic says they forgot no fall-off shotguns, and yeah, they did. You used to be able to snipe people across the map with a pump shotgun. But I think that's actually probably for the better. Bright Extreme says that it's pretty damn good, and I'm gonna have to agree. All the time I've spent with OG has been really fun, especially before they added so many bots into the public matches. And just like you, I'm excited for Season 2, because that's when things start to ramp up a bit with the content they added throughout the years. Vindog kind of says the same thing that I said, that it's amazing, and he actually thinks the bots were needed. And he says the lobbies before were impossible to play without the bots. And it's one of those things where I have to agree to a certain extent. Like, you're not wrong. I still would prefer it without bots, though. And I think Zero Build is a very good alternative to build mode if you don't like all the sweaty build players. They could have at least kept, like, some sort of skill-based matchmaking without all the bots. I think it needs to be way more fine-tuned than it currently is with skill-based matchmaking. This guy says they should have kept how hard it was to get shields. And, I kind of think they did. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but, like, shields are pretty rare. I mean, there have been times where I'm playing Fortnite OG and I leave a POI and I have no shield at all. And I really have to think about what fights to engage with and what fights not to engage with. Before we move on to the next comment, if you guys are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 8,500 subscribers before the end of the year. You can also use my supporter creator code in the item shop if you want to support me. But please subscribe, please, I'm begging you. This guy says keeping Chapter 2 movement makes OG way better. I mean, Chapter 3 movement, I assume? The new movement. He goes on to say people are gaslighting themselves into thinking walking everywhere and dying to zone every game is more fun. Yeah, I have to agree. People who want OG movement back are really taking the new movement for granted. Not being able to, what do they call it? Sprint everywhere, I guess? Tactical sprint, that's what it's called. Not being able to tactical sprint everywhere and mantle would make OG an absolute nightmare, especially in Zero Build. So I think it's an overall good thing that they kept the new movement. Pixel Punch says the solution to the bot problem was to disable turbo building and add an edit delay. And while turbo building wasn't a thing yet in the original Season 1, I have to just disagree with you. Turbo building makes building feel way more smooth and better. There would be way more people complaining about turbo building being disabled than there are currently about the game being too sweaty. That's what I think. No, the solution to the bot problem was to just not have them at all and to more finely tune the skill-based matchmaking. That was the solution. Now, of course, that would make queue times longer. It'd be a whole thing Epic would have to figure out, but that, I think, is the solution. Dan E, I assume that's how you pronounce your name, says that OG's fine. It doesn't really take over what Chapter 6 is with all the new content in Chapter 6. It splits the player bases pretty evenly. The OG pass should be a little cheaper, and he thinks that it has helped people realize that it wasn't necessarily nostalgia or the map that made the game fun back then. It was because everyone was bad and they were experiencing a new game together. And I have to agree. I think OG is a very welcome addition to the game, and I also do think people are very blinded by nostalgia when mentioning old Fortnite. The OG pass is certainly way too expensive, being 1,000 V-Bucks. Just get Fortnite crew. It's clearly the direction Epic wants to push people in, and it's a better deal anyway, so that's my 2 cents on that whole debacle. Pixel Punch kind of says the same thing about being blinded by nostalgia. It'll force people to realize that the content was never the problem, it was always the players and the skill gap, which again, I just said a few minutes ago that I completely agree with. Purple Bolt says that old movement and mechanics should have remained in Fortnite OG, and I've already said that it's one of those things where I just don't agree with. By doing that, you're actively making the game worse. What they have here in the current state of Fortnite OG is the best new mechanics combined with the best old mechanics, or mechanics people miss, being like double pump, being the old weapons, you know what I'm saying? EXO says that the current HUD on OG should stay. I don't exactly know what you're trying to say. Like, what do you mean? Like, the health bar and the inventory in the bottom right-hand corner? I mean, yeah, it's fine. I don't see why they would have gone back to the old HUD. The old HUD is literally worse. It looks worse visually. This guy says adding the old movement would be dumb. And I completely agree. Elite Creator says it's bad because of the sweats. I've already talked about this. Play zero build. They added bots now, or play ranked, you know? You could also do that. I really don't think there's much Epic can do about people being good at the game, besides have a more fine-tuned skill-based matchmaking. Guy says they should remove zero build and also get rid of the new movement, which I just completely disagree with. Zero build quite literally upped Fortnite's player count by a ton when it first came out, so to just remove it as an option would be dumb on Epic Games' part. And you already know how I feel about removing the new movement. This guy says it's boring. I mean, yeah, the game was simple back then. Of course, it's not going to be as engaging as maybe as maybe you feel Chapter 6 is, but there's still a charm to it. I still think there's certainly ways to have fun in Fortnite OG, especially when we get to Season 3, Season 4, 5, 6. That's when I think Chapter 1 especially shines, is those seasons right there. You get to Season 9 and 10, and it starts going a little downhill in my opinion, but it's still pretty fun. Last but not least, we have this guy, and, you know, he says the new movement systems shouldn't be in the game mode. Again, you're actively making the game worse by doing that. I don't think Fortnite would do that. Plus, you're already so used to the new movement anyway. I really don't understand this POV. Guys, it's fine. You still have double pumps. You still have the old weapons. You still have the old loot pool. By removing the new movement, you're actively making the game worse. I mean, these are mechanics people loved when they first came out. Being the tactical sprint, being the sliding, the mantling. I don't know, man. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to subscribe, please. Please help me out. Share the video. Do whatever. All right, for real this time. See ya.